Earlier this year in February, I brought together 6 people from across the community to talk about diversity. One of the participants brought up his concern about the voices of those who are in the minority typically not being heard. And he said that one of their primary concerns was a shortage of affordable housing in the community. The best way that I thought I could approach the topic initially was by conducting a series of conversations with people who worked in this space. After all of those interviews, I would put up a post on wecreatehere.net. 3 to 4 weeks later, I had enough material where I thought I was ready to bring some people together to have a conversation. Throughout the course of the discussion, we realized there wasn't one agency that was explicitly responsible for monitoring intake of the need for housing. Also, many people who were in need of housing didn't know where to start. They didn't know who that first point of contact should be or where they should go initially to begin to get information about finding housing. So this central agency that doesn't exist up until this point, the realization that this agency was important and necessary was something that the group and the participants came up with over the course of our solutions-focused conversations. So this is an example of the approach and one of the ways that we were able to successfully combine community listening and community conversations with reporting.
You know, a journalist's job is not to sit in an office and to, type up reports. That's a big part of what we do, but really the reason we exist is to inform and to empower people through knowledge creation.
Enjoyed it. Okay, good. We're not done yet. Being a part of the team has allowed me to really put a priority on interacting with people who want the information, but not just leaving it at that, really to say to them, what do you think about this? And what do you think about what's happening and what's going on and what's being given to you? And how can we have a constructive conversation that takes the dialogue to the next level and really results in some kind of action?
A lot of aha moments.
The conversation and the dialogue that you have prior to some of these practices with community entities is a little, okay, I trust you, I understand this, we'll give it a try. But there's always that hesitancy, and then after the dialogue or the practice, it's a whole new conversation, it's a whole new relationship that you have with that individual, with that organization, because all of a sudden they truly understand the authenticity of what we're doing and what we're trying to do.
It seems like we're all there and very focused to do something good for our community.
In the experiences that I have had personally with We Create Here, it really has been in the role of We Create Here as a facilitator for dialogues and discussions throughout the community.
So instead of a one-way conversation, here's what's happening and here's what you need to know about it, it was a two-way conversation. Here's what's happening, what do you want to tell the people who are making that happen? And so it really opens up some dialogue in a way that a traditional news story just doesn't do. It's just more information. And this partnership really allowed for a lot more two-way conversation, which was wonderful.
We focus a lot on creating context and understanding, and so not just putting out facts, but what is the bigger story and what can people learn and how can people be empowered to act based on the information that we put out there.
When you have a little bit of a structure and a format and an agenda of how to lead people, you really walk away with some incredible findings. If I was talking to someone who was skeptical about the value of putting a priority on engagement, I would simply say that the people in the community are the people that we are serving.
I think people, really crave authenticity. We all have thoughts and opinions on the subjects that we cover. So by being transparent about that and being straightforward with the community, it allows me to open up new lines of conversation and cover the community in a different way.
It's so much more rewarding and satisfying to know that the work you're doing matters to them and that they care enough to interact with you and ask you questions and give you feedback, concerns, complaints. It's still relevant and factual and timely, but it's been supported by others besides just yourself. And I think that's been really, really cool.